Right guys, welcome down to the final Monday Night Golf Show of 2017 here at the Quest Golf Academy, where we've got myself, got Rick, and we have our beautiful,
fantastic audience.
Beautiful studio audience.
So we're going to be summarising the year's worth of golf and also the finale of the race to Dubai and Tommy Fleetwood taking victory. The English lads doing great in the final event. Here is what else is to come. We've got an action-packed show coming your way.
We look at the Race to Dubai final and the 2017 as a whole. Analyze Tommy Fleetwood's winning swing. Offer tips to improve your game. And our audience take on the £200 Golfbidder Challenge.
Right guys, welcome down to the Monday Night Golf Show, and it is the last one of 2017. We have just finished watching the DP World Finals where Fleetwood has finally gotten over the line after leading for most of the season to win the Race to Dubai. But we're going to be looking at that and the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, and what a season it has been. It has been action-packed from start to finish. And it all came down to one putt on the last green with Justin Rose, had an opportunity to clinch it right at the finale. After not a great back nine, he could have still actually clinched it. With Jon Rahm taking the victory and Tommy Fleetwood, like Pete said, actually winning the Race to Dubai final. And we're not only going to be discussing it with ourselves, we've got a full studio audience in here today in the Quest Golf Academy. We've got golfers who've been watching golf all year, and they're going to be firing some questions to us as well. That's right, you've all been watching? Doing your homework? Good, good, good. More than us anyway.
Yeah, this is basically our research team. So yes, they've come to have a watch, but it's mostly to make us look good. And I think today was one of those days, certainly. I mean, the course, by the way, over there looks incredible. It was a real nice feeling to look at that and think, oh God, you know, we could go there and get away from the absolutely freezing cold, which is currently descended in the UK. Course looked great. It was set up perfectly. Rose throughout the week looked like the much stronger player in many respects, but it seems like he just ran out of steam a little bit. But he's had an incredible month of golf. I mean, he was nowhere near the Race to Dubai leaderboard top of it for the last 3 months, but then all of a sudden, an amazing few weeks, and he's right up there. Same with Rahm, but Fleetwood, who's been Mr. Consistent throughout the year, playing in a lot of European Tour events, which we'll chat about as well, I think it was everyone's. I think most people wanted him to win.
I think so. I don't know what the feeling was. I mean, for me, Tommy started the season winning in Abu Dhabi. We were there present for that. He's just such an instrumental player. He always had this kind of stigma around him from when he was young. He was always going to be this superstar.
The golden boy, wasn't he?
To a number of years, he didn't quite fulfill that. But now he started to get not only his golf balance correct, his life balance with his new fiance, new baby boy. He's also gone back to an old coach. He's gone back to Alan Thompson, who we had the pleasure of actually spending some time with out in Turkey. A really interesting character. He also works with Lee Slattery. That's why we got to meet him. And he's been working with Beef Johnson as well. And he's just an awesome guy. Tommy seems so relaxed, so calm on and off the golf course. We've had quite a bit of time this year to actually meet him a little bit more.
Yeah, he seems like one of the most chilled out people we've met.
Correct. And with his caddy, I mean, his caddy Ian, who you would not miss him. He would cover many a door frame. He is a giant of the game. Actually present when I got my hole-in-one at West Lancs. I feel like he's... how long were we into the video then? Were we a good 6 minutes then? Wow. I like to try and aim for somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes per video to try and get that in. Yeah. But he was present for that hole-in-one.
What a great time of the year that was.
He actually said it was one of the best hole-in-ones he's ever seen.
Oh yeah, I believe so. I believe so. It was. And guys, and what would the last Monday Night Golf Show of the year be about, if not to talk about that wonderful hole-in-one? So yes, the last and final congratulations to Rick, because there's no point talking about it.
My best vision about that hole-in-one was still Rob Potter, who is present with us here today, running and leaping up the banking, going through nettles and all sorts to try and give me the biggest hug, which I do appreciate.
It's actually now a National Trust monument site. So they've actually cordoned off the area where the trench is, where Rob basically fought his way through the undergrowth. Little blue pack there. It's nice.
Anyway, enough about that. We digress. I just managed to fit that in. So anyway, back to Tommy in the Race to Dubai and this $5.5 million that he's won this year. Yeah. No biggie. The fact he's had his balance of his life, of his golf and his family life, and he seems so much more settled on and off the golf course, more relaxed. He's played in 24 European Tour events this year. And that's a real key talking point, because you compare that to Justin Rose, who's only actually played in 12. You look also against John Rahm, who I think has even played in less.
Yep.
I don't think any of the top maybe 5 or 6 have played in plus 20 events. And it kind of raises the question, how fair is that to some degree? And is that the correct way of doing it, or are they actually just managing to fill the wallets of the guys coming in for the Rolex Series as well?
Yeah, I think that was probably the big talking point of the year as far as the big money events. So the Rolex Series and of course the European Tour, the World Golf Championships and the majors count towards the European Tour standings. So you had players like Rose who could, because of his world ranking, could pick and choose the events he wanted to play in, turn up for the big ones, and then after a couple of really good wins, suddenly shoot up to the top with a chance of winning the whole season without actually taking that much time to play in the season's event. So for many people, and especially with the Rahm situation as well, he's been named Rookie of the Year, which, I mean, it's bad to think he is a rookie. You know, he's that, I think he's 5 in the world now, maybe 4 after today's win, I'll just have to check. But to think of him as a rookie is mad, but he's only played a handful of events on tour. When you compare it to Jordan Smith, who was a lot of people's favourites to actually win the Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, it's an interesting debate, and I think it's one that will unfold. I generally quite like the Rolex Series this year, despite it not really making much sense at the outset of the season. And I've got to be honest, from our understanding of the European Tour, they weren't sure of how it was going to go. It was just big money events that they threw a lot of capital at. But they seem to have worked. They seem to have attracted big players, and they seem to have had a lot of publicity. So it seems like a decent thing.
Yeah, I mean, certainly nobody's going to miss the fact that Rolex celebrated their 50th year anniversary the other day, after every single player in the world tweeting about the Rolex that we've currently not got.
I mean, my wrist is surprisingly empty.
We did that well. Yeah. We didn't tweet about it or Instagram about it, but Rolex, if you are watching.
No, we will do. Rigorously.
I got a hole in one this year. I don't think that gets you a Rolex. That's
not the criteria to get a Rolex.
I don't think it's far off.
You need to do more than that.
So yeah, I mean, the Rolex Series is a really interesting one. All the money started to get pumped into the back end of the season, some of these big events, and certainly when you've only got 60 players playing it. When I played with Tyrrell at the British Masters, he was talking about he literally doesn't have to make the cut for the next 3 or 4 months.
Is this just turning like a Monday night name drop?
No, it's not. For the next 3 or 4 months.
When we spent a bit of time with Tommy earlier on the year, actually his coach, who we walked around with in Turkey.
Naming all the people who've done successful this year.
With Lee Slater, who was sports about. Oh, by the way, Phil Kenyon, who we've met many times this year, actually coaches Tommy Fleetwood, and that's 2 Race to Dubai's that we've won throughout the year.
Such a positive way, but you've not.
I forgot.
It turned into such a negative.
Ian, who's Tommy's caddy, actually shared an EasyJet flight with him earlier this year, which was one of my of my big highlights.
Please,
yeah, it really was.
Ian's not flying EasyJet anymore. He's at the top end of the plane. So I think a couple of things with
pilot.
With some of the things that's happened this year and the way that it's kind of stemmed and gone around, I reckon the players have appreciated the extra money. I'm saying they don't have to make the cut in some of these events, and they've still been making huge pots of money, which for the top players, it's great. It's just when you go down that extra league, when you're outside that top 100 in the world or top 100 in Europe, you're not making that bread and butter that some of these big guys are making.
And that was one of the highlights of the year. And there have been a lot of highlights this year.
I think it's been a great year.
Yeah, it's been one of the most exciting years and the most memorable years for me in golf, if you take out Tiger. You know, this is maybe one of the first years where I've actually watched golf and been genuinely interested without him playing, because there's that many good players coming to the top. You got Justin Thomas just blowing up this year, being absolutely incredible. Spieth back to his best. McIlroy obviously missing a lot of the year with injury, but he's going to be coming back next year. There's so many exciting stories coming out from this season, and obviously Tiger is back in a couple of weeks, but this show is going out before that, so yeah.
We don't know what it's going to do yet. Yeah. I think with so many great players, like say, coming to the forefront and being able to perform at the highest level, and a lot of young golfers as well. And that's what's really exciting about golf at the moment. When Tiger was around and he shot out the scenes, there didn't seem to be that many people following up the youth of the golfers. Where we're seeing at the moment, every week we're seeing new names, new fresh faces. And when you see John Rahm, someone who's had this rookie year, like I said before, who's now finishing and won the DP World Champs in Dubai, it's just phenomenal to see that. It really is. I mean, highlight for you. What's been your best highlight? And then we'll ask the audience as well. What's been your best highlight of the year?
I'd probably say Spieth at the Open, just because of the drama that was around that ridiculous tee shot. I will never forget that reaction when he hit that tee shot off to the right, like off the planet right, and he put his he almost put his hands on his head. Like, he just couldn't believe what had happened. And I thought, oh my God, he's gone. He's absolutely gone. Made this mad bogey and then backed it up with an almost hole-in-one birdie on the next, then an eagle, then a birdie. It was just like, it was mad how much a player can dig down deep and come back from a situation that most people would absolutely fall down in. That was my highlight of the year, I think, by far.
I mean, for me, it was probably Garcia winning the Masters. With being so close so many times, his first ever major to win the Masters. And again, someone who's had a story where he's got his personal life more settled with his new relationship, baby on the way as well. And I just feel like he was a really good, solid player all year as well, and finished fourth, actually. I think John Rahm actually overtook him in the race to Dubai in the end. But really solid player all year. And he's obviously now just switched over to a other brand that starts with C, a golf brand that starts with C.
I think we're allowed to say it, aren't we?
I'm not sure.
Are we not? Okay. Yeah,
We'll
Cure
see.
putters.
We'll see. But yeah, I mean, he's just an awesome year. And if I'm honest as well, over all of the year, I have actually been ridiculously impressed with Justin Rose this year. I think for me, he's had such a phenomenal season.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you look at the entirety of the season, yeah. I mean, him, I think Justin Thomas probably... You could split the season down. You could say at different points. Thomas has gone on these spurts of winning events together, obviously first major as well. Someone like Koepka has gone on those little spurts, obviously winning his first major. You got someone like Rose, he's the most recent one to go through that spurt. Tyrrell Hatton. All these players just keep popping up from everywhere. And it is exciting because the majority of them are young players. Obviously, Rose has been around for a long time now.
I think the moral of the story is any future stars coming up that are either called Justin, or Dustin, they're going to do all right.
Anything with a tin. Like, tin.
Tin cup.
Tin,
Right.
tin cup,
tin.
yeah. Oh my God, I think we just found...
The secret, is that right?
I think we found the secret of golf.
Just be called Tin.
Yeah.
Right, who's studio audience? Who wants to go first? Who's got a highlight of the season? All your hands up, raised up high. Oh, right. Rob Potter, ladies and gentlemen. Give us your two.
The two. First one, and the most important one, is sharing a tee box with Ian Finnis as Rick Shields makes his hole-in-one.
Ha! Please.
And actually seeing Finney's daughter actually stand up in the pram at such a young age, going, Rick! And then jump back down again.
Don't forget, we're talking European Tour, PGA Tour. Listen, my hole-in-one's no
So
big.
that was cool. But definitely the Spieth moment. It was like the out of bounds that wasn't the out of bounds. And possibly one of the most controversial moments in golf in most recent times, which came out with the victory. So that was an interesting one, an interesting talking point. That's a highlight for me, definitely.
Yeah, cool. No, it's good. I think it was, I mean, you covered most of the things that me and Pete said, but I think that was perfectly right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like a conclusion.
I think there's so many to reel off as well, but I think the ones that stand out seem to be the ones that we're going back to. Certainly the Open and the Masters. The majors seems to always get it coming up, and next year we've got such an exciting year because we've got all the majors again. Obviously, we've also got the Ryder Cup. I mean, the Ryder Cup at the moment. You look at the race to Dubai endings, and you had English, Spanish, English, Spanish, Swedish.
Swedish, yeah. The Swedish contingent
Alex
showing up strong.
Noren did well. So yeah, I mean, you've got so many English and Spanish players and European players that are actually playing phenomenal at the moment. But then on the other side of the pond, how many US guys you've got? It's just going to be unbelievable.
This year's Ryder Cup, I predict, will be the best that we've seen.
And you've played the course, and it's one of those high-risk courses, right?
It's amazing. Like the whole setting, the fact that it's near Paris, the two teams, if they carry on playing like they are at the moment, you still probably put the US favourites because they have probably stronger depth overall, but it's just so, it's going to be, yeah, I cannot wait. That is something I am desperately looking forward to next year.
Prediction for a player that's going to win a major next year?
I would go, probably have to go Tyrrell, wouldn't you, with the way he's playing. I think he is only going to improve. He would be my first pick, I would say.
And it's not as if he can say like his emotion, almost the angrier he gets, the better he plays. So bizarre, such a bizarre player for that.
Yeah, I mean, if he manages to get that part of his game right, so the thing is, I think he can be hard on himself, that's fine, but I think he can almost go beyond that and almost start laughing at himself and saying, you know what, this is just never going to be my day. Yeah. He gets kind of to that level. So if he can control that, then, yeah. Play with him, aren't you?
A couple of times.
Yeah.
No biggie. So while we've got this fantastic junior audience, why don't we ask them, I don't really say junior audience very well.
A junior audience?
I said it so quick. I'll tell you what, Pete, while we've got this studio audience here with us, why don't we ask each one of them and see who are named for winning a major That took me 3 times to say it. So let's go. So Liam, who's your pick?
Dustin Johnson.
Dustin Johnson. Rob?
Luke Donald.
Oh, wow.
Wow, okay.
Danny Willett.
Danny Willett.
Wow, strong.
Strong.
That's strong.
This is back.
I think he'll come back.
Okay, Steve?
I reckon Ian Poulter.
Yeah, hey, great shout. Actually, he's had a great season. This year.
Very good, yeah. Very
Yeah.
good comeback season,
Sienna?
absolutely.
Go on, Sienna.
Justin Rose.
Yeah, perfect. I think he's got a great chance of doing it. We might just use these. And then you can say you got the pick. Go on, Darren.
I think Johnson, I think.
Dustin?
Lauren, I think.
Lauren, yeah.
Good shout.
He's a player that you think, he's almost like he's up there in that level now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, that's good. Really good pick.
I think for me, Justin Rose is just going strength to strength, isn't he? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
looks like it.
I think so.
We'll be doing stuff next year.
Big time.
I have to agree with Justin Rose too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, Dustin. Don't let us down, Tins.
Who did I say? I can't remember who said.
Who did you say?
You didn't.
You didn't say? All right. Who are we going to say?
John Rahm.
Damn, that was annoying.
You heard it here first.
I already said Hatton though. I already said Hatton. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
We'll
Okay,
see.
we can all agree. What
Go on
a
then.
great pick.
First major. I don't know what we're betting for.
Okay, just a handshake.
No, you have 2, I'll have John.
Okay.
First major.
Okay.
You've got to do the other one's got to do a forfeit.
Okay. Are we just talking highest placing? Or
No,
they have to
the
win?
first person to win a major. I mean, this
Out
might
of
go
those
for
two
20
players.
years.
This could be quite some time.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Stay subscribed to the channels.
Push around our Zimmer frames. This is going to be the year. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to analyse the season-ending winner, Tommy Fleetwood swing, about how consistent it is and some of the things that you can learn from it for your own game. And then we are going to be having the Golfbidder Challenge, which the studio audience doesn't quite know what it is yet. Which is
because we don't.
No. We're going to be having an egg and spin race. So, yeah, fantastic.
Stay tuned.
Straight after the 3-legged. Okay.
Tommy Fleetwood swing coming now.
Sack race. Right, guys, so we're going to have a look at Tommy Fleetwood's swing, see why it was so consistent and why it just served him so well over this year. Then we're going to have a few questions from the audience, and then we're going to be doing the Golfbidder Challenge.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah, I mean, I think with Tommy this year, he's been ultra consistent. He's not done anything over and above. He's not been the #1 in anything apart from possibly greens in regulation and fairways hit.
Yeah.
He's up at 70+%, so high 70% in green in regulation. You blend that with good putting form, and you know it's a recipe for success.
It was around when he was playing his best. There was something ridiculous, like he went 3 rounds without missing a fairway.
Yeah,
or
certainly
something like that.
when he won in France at the Ryder Cup course at Le National, his game was just phenomenal.
Mental.
Like, unbelievable. He's so unbelievably consistent.
Yeah.
So, what are the key principles of consistency with Tommy P?
I mean, one thing you will see within his swing, and this is one thing that maybe people get slightly confused about, is everyone thinks he has a 3/4 technique. It's not so much a 3/4 technique, it's just more of a sawn-off follow-through. Yeah. And with that sawn-off follow-through, that gives him a feeling of a level of control, but he's still swinging through it 100+ miles an hour with everything. You know, he's got a strong, solid speed of the swing. Posture-wise, grip-wise, he's pretty neutral, nothing crazy going on there. But for me, what's fantastic, he's got a beautiful backswing. He's perfectly on plane, if you want to look at it like that, quite a classic backswing in that sense. And then as he starts the way down, he just has this beautiful shallowing of the club. And as soon as that shallow moves, his left hip rotates, and from there, he is just turning, and then that sawn-off follow-through. It's easy to look at it and say it's such a simple action. Obviously, it's taken a lot of work to get there. Yeah. But no, it's one of the best swings on tour for me.
I would say the big point of this is it's how well he generates his speed and his consistency through his body turn.
Yeah.
There's next to no hand action at all. It's not a flip and roll. It's nothing like that. No. The way he turns his body and keeps the face unbelievably stable, that's when it lends itself to this kind of what looks and appears like this sawn-off follow-through. Because he's really just trying to keep everything unbelievably stable through the ball.
So as he's coming into impact, because he is moving the body through, taking the hands out of it, he is relying on his body to square the club rather than his hands. So he's moving in, he's rotating the body so well that he doesn't have to use his hands. He doesn't have to manipulate.
No.
I love that part of his swing. I have a big crush on that part of his swing. I'm not gonna lie.
You have a crush on many parts of of Tommy. I think talking about one of the most stable club faces through the ball. I don't think you get any more stable than Tommy. And like I say, he went from using Alan Thompson as coach, dropped back into Pete Cowan, moved back into Alan Thompson this year, and it's that reliability of coach as well that apparently when Tommy said he just feels comfortable with Alan.
Yeah, he felt that when he changed back to Alan, when he went back to his old swing, if you look at it like that, he trusted it more and he realised how good of a technique it actually was. Yeah. And then after that trust developed, then he went on and obviously Abu Dhabi when we spurred him on to victory.
I would say his swing lends himself to having only one miss, and I would say that miss, if anything, is going to be a slight right miss. But very limited miss. It's not going to have a huge miss at all on the shot.
Tommy doesn't miss.
No, he doesn't miss anything.
Doesn't miss.
Go on then, Pete, show us what it does. So he's on a hole here. This is a 17th hole at Quail Hollow, which the guys, the student audience, are going to have a chance of winning £100 on this.
This is a stupid hole to actually do.
This is a hole you can't miss left.
Where the cursor is actually pointing. That's, I imagine, where I'm going to go.
No,
right in the middle. So prepare for a bailout right. So I'm going to just short parallel with the backswing because I'm a bit stiff. I'm going to shallow it out. Just going to rotate my body as hard as I can and then just try and hold that finish. But to actually get 182 yards of distance with a 7-iron with this, I'll be impressed. All right, come on, Tommy. We've got this.
First hole in one. That's right on it.
That's long.
Too big. Well done. I'll give you a clap for that. That was good. Problem was you were using a club that's massively strong in flight.
Is that? You
were practicing with the blade and you moved on to the cavity.
When I hit that, when that took off, I was like, have I got to 7-iron?
Yeah, you went for the big chunky one.
Wow.
So what you might see from the Pete's, and we'll play a replay of that, is that
we'll play many replays of that.
The stability of the club face through the ball and the fact of, and you notice his follow through was quite sawn off, but there was never any doubt that you were generating power. There was never any doubt that you were hitting the ball hard, even though the finish actually looked like, let's say, sawn off almost.
Rick, I'm not going to lie. I will be swinging next year like that.
Right, okay. Another swing change for Pete Finch.
Under this amount of pressure on that shot, that was fantastic.
Expect Pete to be race to Dubai leaders next year.
Absolutely.
Any questions coming in from our fantastic studio audience? Anything that you kind of take from that or pick up from that, or any technique in general?
You were saying with his hip turn that he gets them through. Now, is there any sort of drills that you can give? Because when I'm trying to do the hip turn drill down a driving range, it all works. But actually, when I swing full pelt, no hip turn at all again.
I think one of the hardest things to do with a hip turn is actually feel if you're doing it correct within the swing, because that's one of the parts of the body where you're obviously looking at the ball, you're concentrating on hitting it. Without video evidence, you're not going to be able to tell if you're doing it correctly. A great drill to use is if you carry a green chair around with you, like I do everywhere. But you can use a bag, or you can use an alignment stick. It doesn't really matter. Just something along that line, something physical. And if you pop it when you get set up, just about a hand's width outside your left buttock, and then as you're swinging through, just try and get to turn and rotate, hit the chair or the bag with your hip before this club gets to the ball. Because what it does, it allows you to have feedback when you hit it. And that's the hardest thing to do with something like that, is actually get the feedback. So I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and knock this chair over. Obviously, continue with the Tommy swing, which is the best swing ever, as I've seen this good. Oh, that's a bit left there. So actually shifting your hips into that. Just stay on the green. How far is this going, by the way? It's like pitching 190 with a 7-iron. Oh no, it's hanging on. Oh, hey, it's hanging on. It's all right. It's all right.
I think that's a great drill. And if you've not got a chair, bag, or something, or anything else in that line, if you've got limited hip rotation as well, another good one is to allow your left foot to be flared out. Right. So that's going to allow that left hip to rotate further as well. But simple ways of feedback, I think, is a good one. Yeah. And seeing the video side of it would be a really good one as well. Yeah. But great question.
On what Richard said.
It's not as easy to do as some of the other aspects of your golf swing improvement. Yeah. But feedback is key.
That's something that Richard said about that left foot actually flaring out. see it so many times. People struggling with hip turn, having that left foot toed in. It will act as a block and a barrier. So getting it flared out. Key.
Any other questions? Yes, Darren.
When you say about the three-quarter backswing, you said it wasn't there, but would you suggest that a three-quarter backswing is a good thing for us to do as amateurs?
No. The thing is, a three-quarter backswing. How do you define a three-quarter backswing for a start? That's what you've got to bear in mind, because Tommy Fleetwood looks like he's got a three-quarter backswing. If you have a look at someone like JB Holmes, he looks like he's got half a backswing. John Rahm, another classic example. But one thing you will see with all those players is when they rotate their body positioning, they have hip turn going back, yes, but their shoulders, they are always rotated to about 90 degrees away from the target. Now, if you have a look at John Rahm, his arms are about here, but his body is fully rotated. So you could say, well, his arms are in a three-quarter position, but his body has still got that full turn. It's the body turn that matters. And as long as you've got the body turn and you've got hinge in the wrists, you could stop a swing there and still generate a similar amount of power than if you move the club up here. The body rotation aspect of it is more important than where the arms and the club actually get to. And you see that with a lot of players now.
And I would say on the side of that, if you actually turn your body only three-quarters, it becomes more of a hindrance. Because as you turn your body three-quarters, you're trying to play catch-up on speed. So where the club sits in relation to how your body sits is slightly different. But it's a good question, because a lot of people think they overswing it. I don't really care about overswing massively. I don't think it's been a huge problem. I would just say more about it actually, the body turn. As long as that's complete, I think that creates the power.
Ernie Els says complete your backswing, doesn't he?
Complete the backswing, yeah. Ernie Els complete the backswing, yeah. Any more questions coming in? No? Perfect. Right, guys, so your chance now. We're going to flip the cameras around to you guys. You're going to do a £100 Golfbidder challenge. Nearest the pin, we're going to put this same green. We're going to go a little bit closer to 120. You've all got your clubs prepared and ready, I see. And it's closest to the pin takes the dough. You up for it? Yeah? Sounds good.
Okay, guys, Golfbidder challenge, nearest to the pin. Everyone's going to have one shot each. If no one hits the green, then we're going to have to go again. But hopefully, with such a short distance and after we've got such an array of talent assembled, it shouldn't be an issue. But we'll see. So, who's going to be first up?
So what's your name and where are you from?
Alex from Didsbury.
Okay, Alex, what you play off?
12.
Oh, come on up. You got your club?
Yeah.
Cool.
Coat coming off.
Alex, fellow Didsbury local here, come through.
Right, okay, so, gone with wedge.
Going with a wedge. It's gone for the classic black pants, white t-shirt combination. That is a swing. So it's only 100. So you've got to pitch it about 110, slightly right of the hole, bit of left to right spin.
Right, you are.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Is it up?
Go on, kick left, kick left, kick left.
Nice shot, bit too
Right,
much spin.
not too bad. So
On the green.
It's on the green, middle of the green. Very professional shot there for a very professional young man. So we have carried total 110 yards, offline by 6.5 yards. It's a good start, but I've got a feeling that one of these fine gentlemen or young lady will take the crown. I hope not. We'll bring that money home to Didsbury. Who's up next?
Okay, so next one up. Name and where you from?
Lee from Rochdale.
Okay, Lee, come on up. Can you reckon you can do better?
Not without a ball.
Oh yeah. Pete.
No, like a ball. Like a ball. By the way, I really like your Rochdale accent.
Yes,
It's very, very Rochdalian.
I'm root northern.
Oh, I'm from Rochdale. What club are we going in with? Pitcher wedge. Which pitcher wedge are we on? Oh, hello. Proper Players
one.
Club. Yeah, a Chinese club. That looks very good.
That looks very
that
good.
looks amazing. Oh,
Go
look
in.
at that. Go on, kick on.
Oh,
That's
nice.
a solid shot. That's a very good shot, that. So pretty much bang on line.
That was good.
116 off, 0.5 yards off line. Good.
So
116 from distance.
effectively 7 yards short. 7 yards short, bang on line.
It's very, very good.
What's your name and where you from?
I'm Darren from Blackburn.
Okay, Darren, come on up. Ball, Peter.
Oh, ball in, sorry. I've got you a special ball, Darren. Special ball. This one's, I've got a little controller in my pocket. I'll flick it towards the target if we can. What a swing, eh? What a beautiful swing.
I'm guessing he's one of your students, yeah?
Absolutely not. Beautiful swing. I'll tell you after he's hit the shot. What? Never seen him before in my life. So, we're going to hopefully carry on the green. Yeah, I'm sorry. But,
I knew I should have gone with a cat wedge.
Darren, if you do want lessons, I am available. So, who's going to be next up?
Watery grave.
I know, it's good. Perfect distance.
Is that what you were more impressed about, the carry?
I'm more impressed, yeah.
You're more about,
I should have
it
gone
carried
We're working
129
on carry.
in the
We're
water.
working on carry at the moment. Working on carry.
So name and where you from?
Spencer from Rosendale.
Okay, Spencer, coming up.
Absolutely
He's got
not
ball
one of
ready
my
for you.
lessons again, but we will see.
It's been a while,
Yes, it has. Let that be. Yeah, it has been a while since you had a lesson, so yeah, get yourself booked in.
Depends how this goes.
Oh, looks good. Looks good.
That is
Come
coming
on,
back a
bit of
bit. It's
distance.
coming back a bit.
Oh,
Go in!
look at that. Oh, go on! Oh! Look at that, eh? Look at that.
That was awesome. Well done. Great shot. Yeah, I was going to say.
Brilliant stuff. No point. Want to find just 3 yards short. Just under 3 yards
When
short.
are we going to tell Pete you've started coming lessons off me? He's not been back because he's been seeing me.
Please. I know a Rick Shield swing when I see one, and that ain't it.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Luke from Manchester.
Okay, Luke, coming up. What did you play off, Luke?
4.
4.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay, wow, we've got a proper player in. Is the Pro V1 okay? Is there any other ball you'd like to use? Or top flight? Okay. Got some XL 2000s under the shelf. Good strike. Oh, that's
Cut a
good as
bit.
well.
Cut a bit.
Go on,
That looks cooking good. Too much
Oh,
spin.
just a bit. Oh.
Too much spin.
Yeah.
Lucky, nice shot though.
You need a bit of Spencer drop kick action to just try and edge it forward a little bit more.
So what's your name and where are you from?
Dobby from Chorley.
Dobby from Chorley. So Rob Potter, ladies and gentlemen, coming up. Never seen this man in my life.
What club
Depends
do you-
on what he does.
What clubs you got? What are you using?
I'm using Mizuno MMC pitching wedge.
Interesting. Those didn't do too well on your review, I seem to remember.
He's not testing yet. So what are you off these days, Rob?
13.1.
Okay,
I've
good.
gone down by 0.3.
That's all we need to know.
.3.
He's got a position to uphold.
Exactly.
Oh, that looks like it's online. Slightly right, maybe?
Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Oh.
Big kick. Go.
Yeah, centre of the green.
Safe shot, professional
Yeah,
shot.
very, very safe.
Professional shot, Rob. How do you feel about
Gutted.
that?
Very safe.
Should have used the Callaway.
Yes.
Right. What's your name and where are you from?
Sienna from Wigan.
Sienna from Wigan. Come on up, Sienna. Give Sienna a big clap, guys. This is her first time really giving it a go.
Go on.
Come on, Sienna. Show everyone up.
Very Nike'd up here, Sienna. Is this part of the remit of
She's-
having lessons with you?
She's one of it's in the contract. Come on, Sienna. This is it.
Oh,
get
looks
up.
good.
Get
Oh,
up.
come on, kick left.
Go.
Kick left.
Oh, it's on the green. Good shot.
Good shot.
And it's exactly what we worked on today, so well done, Sienna. That was perfect. What's your name? Where are you from?
Steve from Wigan.
Come on, Steve. This is Sienna's dad, so you got to beat Sienna.
All these locations. If you were ever confused about where the Quest Golf Academy is, if you
in
just
the
take all
northwest.
these locations and triangulate, that's about where we are. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Darren's quite happy. He's like, yes. So what's your name and where are you from?
I'm Liam from Bolton.
Whey! So if you've not seen Liam's channel, Golf Vlogs UK, is let's not feed the fish now, Liam.
Well,
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
You fit me in flesh.
Not a problem. We'll set you right.
It was waiting for that,
my
wasn't
lesson. Sven, come over here, mate. Come over here. Here's one of my
well done,
lessons.
Spencer.
Proudly winning the Golfbidder Challenge. Spencer, very well done. Right, so we will get you the check. We've not got the novelty check today, have we?
We the last winner took it. Yeah, the last winner took it.
Yeah, stole it away. So guys, thank you so much for watching the last Monday Night Golf show of 2017. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please comment below. Guys, thank you all for coming down. Really appreciate you coming down, making it such a great day. And we'll see you next year for more Monday Night Golf show. It's been really pretty emotional, to be honest.
Been a good one.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, so like it and all that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it fizzled out this ending. Social media follow stuff. And yeah, well done everyone. Well done. Really good. Well done.
Good enough, bro.
Clap it out. Clap it out. Clap it out.
Keep clapping.
Keep on going. There we go, guys. Woo! Yeah! Oh man, yeah.